And welcome back to another CBB Talk. It's Will. We're on a Sunday night here at 6:30. And guess what? We got a lot going on even right now. I'm watching the end of this Michigan-Iowa game. Big shot for Michigan. Okay, it won't go. Rebound. Indiana's up one. I'm watching James Madison in the back because guess what? I root for them. Win this game. They're on to the Sun Belt Championship. A lot's going on just right now. We got a couple games in OT and conference play, but we have to put this episode. It looks like American Lafayette and WOT and Furman Western Carolina are in OT right now. So we've had four teams punch the tournament. Let's start off with some congratulations to those, or is it five? I think it's five teams. My bad. It's five teams. Fairleigh Dickinson. My last name is Dickinson, if you guys didn't know. Pretty cool. Anyways, so they ended up clinching the tournament because Merrimack couldn't go to the tournament since they just came into D1. That's a stupid rule. I think you should just be allowed to go to the tournament regardless because I mean, hey, if you're good enough to win a conference tournament, just join the thing. I think why should you not be allowed to go? But that is just my opinion. Maybe that's not, a popular opinion, but I think if you win a conference tournament, you should be able to go. That happened with Bellarmine last year. We'll see if they win the conference tournament, but they made the NCAA tournament, so congratulations. Second last night was a great game with SEMO making it with Southeast Missouri. They end up being Tennessee Tech in a thrilling game. Watch that one live here. We've been watching a lot more mid-major ball. It's been fun to see these exciting endings to games, and that was a great one there. The full court, the end half, and the tie and send it OT. Thought it was a three, it wasn't. And we're going to OT, and SEMO kind of dominates the OT. So that's probably both those teams are probably 16 seeds, but it's still great to see these teams get back into the tournament, for one of the first times in a while. See the mid majors, get some light shined on them. Then today we had some more teams, get that final spot, get their bid into the tournament. Starting off with, UNC Asheville. One of my friend's dad is the head men's basketball coach at Campbell McGeehan. And I was pulling for them. I was rooting for Campbell. I watched their game yesterday when they upset the 2 seed in the big. Who was the two? Oh, Radford. So they always had three. I think it was a 3 seed. They upset Radford yesterday. And they go on today, and I thought they were gonna. I thought they had this one in the bag. That guard for Asheville. I can't remember his name. I'll check him out. Not Pember was great. I mean, he's one of the best mid-major players in the country there. He had 29. It was Jones. Jones went off and carried that game down the stretch there. Wish Campbell could have made the tournament for the first time in a while. First time under the Coach McGeehan, but they couldn't get the job done. Still a good run for them, but really wish they could have pulled that one out. Some controversial calls late there helped UNC Asheville. They're probably gonna be a 15 seed, but they definitely have the power with that 1-2 punch. And Pember's only a sophomore. We could see him transfer out there next year and become a serviceable player on a Power 5 team there. But good win for UNC Asheville, and they'll move into the tournament. We saw Drake make the NCAA tournament, and this Drake team, I think if they get 12C, watch out, Vibes, because Drake came out with a lot of powers. The freeze was amazing today, 22 points. Really, just the whole Drake team in that first half was dominant. Still had a good second half, ended up winning by 26 over Bradley, and Drake will be dancing again. This is their first time winning the conference tournament in over 10 years. They made it in 2021 as an at-large. This year, I think they have potential to win a game in the NCAA tournament and maybe more. That's how good this team played today and what they can do in the future. The last one was Kennesaw State. They got a nice little win over Liberty today in a close one. Liberty made it close at the end, but then that home court advantage really was big for them down the stretch there. And congrats to Kennesaw State. I could see Kennesaw being around a 14 seed maybe. Then they definitely can give trouble to a 4 seed, 3 seed, whoever they get when the bracket comes out in a week from now. From a week from now, I think we'll know what the bracket is, and I'll come on here and make a little instant reaction type vid. So yeah, congratulations conference tournaments. JMU's down freaking 11 right now, so it's not looking good for the Dukes, but they're going to turn around. I got confidence in them. South Alabama is playing really good right now, making a good run. They're the 8 seed, and they just knocked off the 1 seed from and Marshall's out the 2 seed, and then they knocked out Southern Miss yesterday as the 1 seed. I'm also watching this Michigan. Michigan's now back up 3. Hood Schifino for 3, and he hits it. Big shot for Jalen Hood Schifino. By the time you're watching this, the result already happened. But big shot there for Jalen Hood Schifino, the freshman tie game there with under a minute to play. We'll see what happens there. But let's talk about some of these games quickly. We're not going to go through a lot because it was the last week of the regular season. We got to get into conference play, and I'll have an announcement at the end of the episode what we're doing for next week. Because guess what? It's going to be fun. Conference tournament's always the best times of the year. Getting into March gets that feeling, that neutral site, and we've already seen a lot of it here. We've seen a lot of crazy finishes, a lot of buzzer beaters. That's already happened today, yesterday, and will happen in the coming weeks. Texas A&M knocks off the number 2 ranked team in the nation there. I kept Alabama at 2 because guess what? Kansas also lost. But Texas A&M, big statement win. Wade Taylor was amazing. Not just from the line, but he was amazing all around today. Yesterday, 28. Brandon Miller fouled out. That definitely hurt Bama down the stretch. I mean, Texas A&M up the 17 in my rankings, and Indiana's 18. If they lose, they'll drop. But that will not affect Texas A&M's ranking at all. Okay, and James hasn't got back to 9 with 4 minutes. Let's see if they can get to 5 by the half. The board. Okay. Hopefully, I gotta pay attention to these games. I mean, these are important results. Iowa State blasted Baylor, which was a strange result. Caleb Grill came out this week that he'll be done for the year. Kind of just didn't really make the didn't follow team protocols. He came out and said he was battling with mental health problems, so hopefully he can get better. And we'll see what the future is for Caleb Grill. He's one of the better players on this Iowa team. Started every game he played in, and now he's done for the year. But their first official game without him on the team there, they win by 15 on the road against Baylor. So big game. Iowa State was, really struggling these last couple weeks, and they got a huge win there. Jaron Holmes had a good game. Calishur had a good game, and it kind of all came together for Iowa State. Not too worried about Baylor. I am worried about that defense. Iowa State was offense been really bad, and they got back on track, though, today. I dropped Baylor to number 11th in my rankings. Iowa State, you're not in them, but that's a really good win to get back on track there, and that's a C-line boost. They're probably going to be a 6-7 seed going into this tournament as Iowa State. Michigan State pretty much cements himself going to be in the tournament there. Tom Izzo March always turns up. It was really cool to see Seton Hall and Sheehan Hall, they get a big upset win on senior day at Providence there. Sucks for the seniors at Providence. They got blasted by Seton Hall in that first half. Was down 19 going in the half. Seton Hall ends up winning this game by 24. And all around great game. Providence, you dropped down my top 25 there for the first time in a while as Seton Hall ended up pulling off that win. West Virginia. I want to talk about West Virginia real quick. I was hating on West Virginia earlier this week because 13 seconds left, and I think it's Michigan's ball. Whose ball is it? I'm sorry, I don't even know why I need to see this, but Michigan. Oh no, is it Indiana's ball? They got Severius Thompson got the steal, and then he smokes a layup. Yeah, I think it's Michigan's ball. Anyways, so West Virginia, I didn't think they were a tournament team earlier this week. Maybe last week, I didn't like the way he played. And this week, I think they go 2-0. I think they're a tournament team lock, even if they lose their first round. This West Virginia team, I think if they get a 10-11 seed, they can win games in the tournament. I think this year's Iowa State. I think this team has so much potential. Eric Stevenson's a freaking beast. Emmett Matthews is so good. Joe Toussaint. This team is deep and really good. Trey Mitchell. This whole team, I just like they got transfers, and they all play together well. And Bob Huggins is getting this team, this offense look really scary. That's a tough place to play in Kansas State, and you kept it close there for them. I dropped K-State to number 9 in my rankings. West Virginia 9 in my rankings. You got 13 losses, but I think that might be my team that I could have making a run in the tournament there. As we'll see how they do in the Big 12 tournament, because of course that's going to tell a lot. Kentucky ends up getting a good win at Arkansas after a bad loss against Vanderbilt. They get a nice win at Arkansas. Arkansas is going to be in the tournament, right? And I would not, if they become a 9 or a 10, that's a scary matchup, a 2 seed or 1 seed got to play because Arkansas, has played really good in the tournament. It looks like Michigan, Indiana is going into OT there. So I don't know if this episode will be over by the time that game's over. Arkansas ends up losing this game. I would be scared to play them, if it was in the first 2 rounds there. And you had no case on Lawson for Kentucky, Savia Wheeler might be out for the year. And Antonio Reed's plus 37. So he's really taking that next step for Kentucky there. And that's really good to see. And Kentucky, again, that loss, hurt them a little bit in my eyes for sure. But this win definitely, picked up right where they were at after, a disappointing game earlier in the week. TCU lost 1 against Oklahoma. Oklahoma's beat a lot of good teams this year. They got hurt by being in a really good conference, and there's not going to be a tournament team this year. They can make it around the NIT for sure. I dropped TCU, I think, to 22 in my rankings there. Just a tough loss after they beat Texas earlier in the week. Missouri's into my rankings. They're playing really good. Got a nice little 5-point win against Ole Miss there. Missouri will be in the tournament, and we'll see how far they can go. Texas beats Kansas there pretty handily at home. Senior night win there. Sir-Jabari Rice, 6th man of the year in the Big 12, I believe. I mean, he was really good in this one. I mean, this dude is the reason why I think Texas can make a Final Four because they have depth. They have the guard play with Marcus Carr and Tyrese Hunter. Oh, they actually put 0.7 on the clock, so I did not know. I highly doubt anything's going to go in for Indiana there. But yeah, Jalen Wilson at 23. No one else scores double figures. So it was kind of I remember when they won that 3-game losing streak early in the year, Kansas, it was the other guys weren't stepping up for Kansas. And that it was kind of similar to those weeks there. Wilson had 23. No one else really played great in this one. Grady Dick, got 5 threes off, but no other shots there. DeJuan Harris had to shoot 12 shots, only made 2 of them. And really, Jalen Wilson went 6 for 6 on the line. Everyone else won a combined 6 for 10, I think. So that's not too good there. And yeah, Tyrese Hunter had a good game, and Sir-Jabari Rice on the bench had a really good game there. Marcus Carr struggles, but this Texas team definitely has Final Four potential. Oregon's making a sneaky tournament case. They're gonna have to, make the championship in the Pac-12 or get some help. But they definitely are giving themselves an opportunity to get there. Nevada took a tough loss. They're sitting on the bubble. They are sitting on the bubble after that UNLV loss. We'll see how they do there. Pitt is the 1 seed in the ACC tournament there after a nice win. Poplar was really good. Nigel Pack hit some clutch shots. And Pitt gave him a good run that second half. Made it a game there. Hit some shots down the stretch. They actually had a shot for the wing. They forced some turnovers at the end of the game there, but Miami shouts them. ACC champions there, co-champions with Virginia, but they get the 1 seed in the tournament, which is huge there, and you avoid having to play, a UNC team we'll get to later, but they'll get an easier quarterfinal matchup. Oklahoma State saves their tournament hopes there with a win at Texas Tech. Mark Adams will not be coaching for a little bit. I don't know if he will be fired. He made some bad comments. You don't want to do that. You do not want to do that. Xavier keeps winning there. Sule Boom had a huge one in that. No, did Sule Boom have a big one? That was earlier this week, but Sule Boom had a really good game. It was more of Kobe Jones there in that one. I mean, Xavier doesn't have a deep lineup. They don't. They played 7 players in this one. But guess what? Xavier got the win, and a win's a win for Xavier. In that, why? I was looking through the games. I'm like, why isn't it on today's games? I'm looking at yesterday's games. Oh yeah, shout out to Auburn. I was worried about Auburn not making the tournament. They got a win against Tennessee. Tennessee dropped to, I think, 19 and 20th in my rankings there. So without Zakai Ziegler, they lose their first game. We'll see how they can play. So let's get on to really my main. UConn got a nice win there. I got them to 10th. They're playing really good basketball. They're back to what they were in the beginning of the year. Clemson, they can make the tournament. Mississippi State losing to Vanderbilt. That might have been it for Mississippi State. Boise State, I can't tell if this was good or bad for the Mountain West because Utah State beat Boise State. So both these teams, Boise State has a better resume than Utah State. We'll see. I think whatever team makes it further in this tournament will probably be the team that gets in. Nevada, San Diego State is in for sure, and then Boise State, Nevada, and Utah State will really be fighting for that last spot in there. UCLA got the job done. They were undefeated at home this year. Jaime Jaquez was big. Trebellis was really good for Arizona. We'll see. What was Jalen Clark's injury? Because that one was, it was concerning to go down and look at if you're Jalen Clark for what was Jalen Clark's injury? Gosh. Oh gosh, what was the injury? I'm trying to read. Okay, whatever. I'm not reading all this. Did not say. This came out 5 hours ago, so I thought they would have like official diagnosis on the injury. They will wait. When this came out? Oh, so maybe it's happening tomorrow. So maybe by tomorrow we'll know if Jalen Clark will be out for the year. But who knows with Jalen Clark? But that was a scary injury. But UCLA got the win. I think they'd be a 1 seed right now in the NCAA tournament. There, USC got a big win against Arizona State. Whatever team won that game is the most likely Pac-12 third team to make it, and as winning that game helps. But let's get on to my UNC talk, right? Because I have not talked about this team as much because what is there to talk about? They've been really disappointing this year, and it's been clear to see that, let's see. Race Thompson kicked out. He's live. It is. I love Jalen Hutchafino, man. Pull up. Okay, never mind. So UNC. Let's talk about them. It sucks, right? Because they were the preseason #1 team, and they're not gonna make the tournament. They're gonna have to make the championship game in the ACC minimum. Which they could. They get Boston College and Virginia. If they can beat Boston College, they'll play Virginia in the second round there. So that will give them a shot. Let's just say we'll give them a shot. We'll give them a shot to make it. They just didn't play good this game. They did. This was a sloppy game, a very sloppy game. How many turnovers did they have as a team? They actually had 8. Both teams had 8, but it felt more sloppy. Not a lot of shot making really happening there. Flipkowski was amazing. Proctor made big shots, I felt like. And Lively not found out down the stretch here, I think, was a real reason. Ryan Young could have played more minutes than Lively, but I really think that Lively down the stretch there really helped Baycott. They really swarmed Baycott, and he really couldn't get any shots off. And they made Leaky Black try to kill him, which it didn't happen there. The guards for UNC shot combined 9 for 25. So UNC, it sucks. I haven't heard anyone blame this on Hubert Davis, and maybe I'm not, in the inner circle of UNC, even though I do live in the area. I actually went to College Game Day, got behind the scene passes, met Reese Davis. I actually met Reese Davis before, but talked to Reese Davis. Really cool. Jay Williams there, made the half court shot. We were right there. You can kind of see us in the background, like, because we're on the other side. So when he went on the other side, when you see barely people, that was actually me and my friends were there. So, that was just super cool that, experience there. I get to do that. I do that every couple of years to go to these game days because it's always in North Carolina. I've gone to some at Cameron. So that was really cool. But, UNC is going to have a miracle run this ACC tournament to get in. And if they don't win the All-Met qualifier, I think the best they can do is be in the last 4 in. They will need some help. Duke, I think this team has Final Four potential, has Elite 8 potential because of their defense. This Duke team locks up, man. Flipkowski's a good defender. Derek Lively turns his team into a second gear on defense. Derek wasn't good in this one, but we saw that Jeremy Roach and Mark Mitchell's defense is why he's on the court. He had 10 points in this one, but played 38 minutes because he's one of the best defenders on this team as a freshman. So it's really good to see that. Duke sweeps UNC there. They got the 4 seed in the ACC, so they did get the double bye. They'll probably play Pitt in that first round game, which will be a really good, exciting game in the ACC there. But yeah, big game for Duke, and just all around, man. Shout out to Duke because they got off to a bad start now. I got Duke saying 21 in my rankings. And God, bad end of the half for UNC there. Indiana's up 4 there. Trace Jackson won't go. Something like Indiana's probably going to win this game. They're up 5. They're up 6. They're up 6. No, they're up 3. What did I say? I can't read. They're up 4. And the last game, there's 2 more games I really want to talk about. Purdue got the job done. Apparently I didn't really watch the game, to be honest with you, but people were saying they were on the refs, and Rutgers plays Northwestern at 7:30. If Rutgers loses this game, I don't think they're gonna make the tournament. Winning this game would go a long way, but they play really good inside Jersey Mike, so I expect them to win. That Houston-Memphis game, man, that's a great basketball game, and that made me feel confident about Memphis. I think this team's better than last year's team. They just didn't get as much hype going into the year because last year they had that two 5-star freshmen with Imani Bates and of course Jalen Duren. So they had a lot of hype going into the year and they kind of let down. This year they kind of went more under the radar, but they picked up Kendrick Davis, which is better than a 5-star because this dude's a great college hooper, and he's really reminds me of almost like a Kyrie Irving in his college games. He gets the line, can shoot the mid-range, and he has really quick handles there. But Tremont Marcus Sasser, and the whole Houston squad steps up, and at the end of the day, might have been a push-off or not, but Jamal Shead hits a buzzer beater at the corner to beat Memphis, and one loss in a American Conference play, and I think Houston will be a 1 seed no matter what happens in this tournament. And if they win the AAC in conference tournament, then I think they will be the number 1 overall seed. I expect this to be the conference championship, and I can't wait to see round 3 and see if Houston can get 3 in a row against Memphis. And Penn State beats Maryland, also pretty much buzzer beater there. Jameer Young was amazing in this one, but Maryland does not play good on the road here. And Penn State, right now, I'd have them over Rutgers, so Rutgers needs to win this game. I want to see Penn State make it. They haven't made it in a long time. And Jalen Pickett, man, I think he can do something special in March, or in March Madness. It's already March. So yeah. So here, because I usually preview games here, so this is what I'm gonna do. As conference tournament start off. So I will be releasing conference tournament previews for these game weeks. So for these tournaments coming up, I'll do it. I'm going to do an ACC one, a Big 10 one, a Big 12 one, an SEC, and a Big East. So I have 5 ones. I won't do a Pac-12, and I won't do a Mountain West. I might talk about those maybe as a separate video, but I think both those conferences maybe have 2-3 tournament teams, Arizona, UCLA in the Pac-12, and probably USC is that third one. Maybe Arizona State can do something. And the Mountain West will be San Diego State as a lock. And we have 3 kind of bubble-ish teams with Nevada, Boise State, and Utah State, and not New Mexico anymore. So yeah, I'm going to be releasing tournament specific. I'll give you my end of season awards for each conference too in those videos. So I'm going to start recording them tomorrow, and I'll probably release the ACC one tomorrow, and maybe one more, or we'll see. I'm just going to spread out these releases. So stay tuned for that, because that's going to be fun. March Madness, we're going to have a lot of things. We're going to have a video picking my bracket. We're going to do a bracket, kind of run through and just talk about it when it comes out. So yeah, it's getting real. Postseason play has started. Postseason play is here. The regular season is over after tonight. So it's been an amazing regular season, but this is when people remember who you are, is March. Thanks for watching. Peace.